What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Big Boy John 25, and tonight I'm gonna do my WWE Smackdown review and highlights you guys know. Give me 30 likes on this video and hit that red button. Let's get started. Tonight Smackdown was just a terrible show. It was just terrible. Tonight's WWE Smackdown on Fox opens up with the usual video package. We're live on tape from the empty WWE Performance Center on Orlando, Florida, as Michael Cole welcomes us. The ring is set up for another must-see edition of The Miz TV. Greg Hamilton goes to introduce the SmackDown Tag Team Champions John Morrison and The Miz, which I don't really care about. But anyway, he's interrupted by the music of the Usos. Out come Jimmy Uso and Jay Uso with mics. We see ladders all over the Performance Center. The Usos get hyped up and enter the ring. People at home rings out as the New Day's music starts up, and out comes Kofi Kingston and Big E. Kofi discussed with the Usos, saying they will be the ones to snatch down the titles at WrestleMania 36 this weekend. Big E says the circumstances are unique this year, but it's still WrestleMania, and they plan to take in the titles. The two teams argue. Out come The Miz and John Morrison with the titles. Miz is used to this kind of disrespect, but they deserve better. They go on, and Miz says the two teams can argue all they want because the champs will just take a front row to what will happen at WrestleMania. He says they can destroy each other, which will allow them to climb the ladders to retain. Miz and Morrison have climbed ladders on the stage. Miz and Morrison tell the Usos and the New Day to be jealous. The Usos and the New Day rushes to the stage for a fight. Miz and Morrison meet them and they all brawl, which was terrible. There carnage and Big E bumps everywhere. Miz and Morrison level Kofi and one of the Usos with a ladder before standing tall as Morrison music hits. Michael Cole hypes the triple threat ladder match for this weekend. Still to come, John Cena addressed the Firefly Funhouse match challenge from Bray Wyatt. Also, we will look back at the farewell match for WWE Hall of Famer Ric Flair. Naomi versus Lacey Evans versus Tamina Snuka. This triple threat match was just god awful. It was just god awful. We go back to the ring, and out first come Naomi for a triple threat. We go to commercial. Back from the break, out comes Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks always look good. That's the only thing that I like about SmackDown. Sasha Banks look good. She does look good. And I agree with Desmond on Twitter. Shout out to Desmond. But anyway, Sasha and SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley to join Michael Cole on commentary. Lacey Evans is out next, followed by Tamina Snuka. The bell rings and they all go at it. Tamina Snuka with some offense early on. Evans counters and nails a basement dropkick. Naomi goes to roll Snuka up, but has her head slammed into the mat. Tamina fights Evans off and tosses her next to Naomi on the apron. Snuka knocks them both off and sends them to the floor. Snuka stands tall as we go right back to commercial. Back from the break, and Snuka goes at it with Naomi. Naomi with a big springboard kick. Evans comes back in and also Snuka clotheslining her. Lacey Evans with boots in the corner. Evans launches herself over the top rope with an elbow drop to Snuka. Naomi ends up dropping Evans with a big kick onto the floor. Sasha Banks gets up and launches Evans onto the steel ring steps. Sasha Banks turns around to a kick to the face from Naomi. Naomi come back in with a kick to the head, but Snuka rocks her. Back and forth now. Snuka catches Naomi with a Samoan drop. Snuka can't get the pin and shows some frustration. Snuka misses a splash on Naomi in the corner. Bayley hits the apron, but Naomi sends her back down. Naomi turns it around to a super kick from Tamina for the pin to win. The winner of the match, Tamina Snuka. That super kick that Tamina did on SmackDown was god awful. Was just terrible. It was just terrible. But anyway, after the match, Bayley grabs her title from the announcer table as Snuka stares her down from the ring. Bayley hits the ring and keeps talking. Bayley offers her hand for a shake and says she's proud to have Tamina in the match at WrestleMania, and it's good to have her back. Snuka shakes as Bayley keeps mocking her. Tamina drops Bayley with a big super kick. Sasha Banks tends to Bayley and then looks to suck up to Tamina. Tamina pulls her into a big Samoan drop. Tamina stares Sasha Banks down as her music starts back up. Still to come, John Cena will be here. Also, a WrestleMania 24 replay of Ric Flair retirement match. Back to commercial. Back from the break, and we see Tucker talking to Mandy Rose backstage. The truth will be heard. The big letter appears over the screen. It looks like this could be unrelated to Tucker and Rose. Possibly something to do with the recent glitches when seen on SmackDown. Michael Cole says Tucker will face Dolph Ziggler tonight. Cole lead us to a replay from WrestleMania 24 match between the WWE Hall of Famers Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels, which was a farewell match for the Nature Boy. We get a few replays and come back. We finally see the end of the match and Ric Flair emotional farewell after the match. Cole shows us what happened to Elias at the hands of King Baron Corbin last week. Corbin wonders if Elias will be able to compete against Corbin at WrestleMania 36 this week. Michael Cole then announced that Braun Strowman will now face the WWE Universal Champion Bill Goldberg, which is terrible booking by WWE. No mention of Roman Reigns backing out. I agree with Cole Trains on this one. They booked Goldberg versus Braun Strowman for the Universal title. That was a terrible decision by WWE. Terrible booking. Anyway, Tucker and Otis are backstage. Tucker mentioned seeing Mandy Rose early, but he thinks she was just being nice when she asked about Otis, and he thought she was headed to Dolph Ziggler's room. Otis gets a text when he really excited. He rushed off but won't tell Tucker where he's going. Tucker asks what about the match. We go to commercial. Dolph Ziggler versus Tucker. Back from the break, and out comes Tucker. Dolph Ziggler is out next. The bell rang and they go at it, trading offense. Tucker overpowered early on and levels Ziggler. Tucker works Ziggler over while he's down on the mat. Ziggler kicks Tucker knee and nails a neck breaker. Dolph Ziggler drops a big elbow to the chest for a close 2 count. Ziggler keeps Tucker grounded now, telling the referee to ask him if he gives. Tucker fights to his feet, but Ziggler slams him back down to the mat. Ziggler nails a drop kick for another 2 count. Ziggler goes right back to the headlock. Ziggler goes on until Tucker catches a kick and drops him. Tucker catapults Ziggler into the turnbuckle and keeps control. Ziggler comes back and goes on and hit a big shot in the corner. Ziggler keeps control and drops Tucker with a DDT. Back to commercial. Back from the break, and Tucker fights out of a headlock. They trade strikes in the middle of the ring now. Tucker tosses Ziggler across the ring and out to the floor. Tucker follows and slams Ziggler face first onto the announcer table. Tucker launches Ziggler into the barrier as the referee counts. Tucker breaks the count as Ziggler tries crawling up the ramp. Tucker grabs Ziggler and launches him into the steel ring steps. Tucker brings Ziggler back into the ring. Tucker catches a kick and nails a side slam for a 2 count. Tucker shows some frustration now. Ziggler rolls back to the floor for a breather. Tucker goes to slam Ziggler on the steps, but He slides out. Ziggler digs at Tucker's eyes and then nails a zigzag on the bottom part of the steps. The referee calls for the match. The winner by disqualification, Tucker. After the match, Ziggler is all smiles as he stands tall at ringside. Ziggler grabs another half of the steel steps and goes to slam them into Tucker. Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville come out of the ramp and Mandy screaming for Ziggler to stop. Otis also runs out. Everyone stops as we see the familiar glitches on the screen as the truth will be heard. Matches pop back on the screen. The big screen now shows a man sitting in the production control room in front of security cameras. The hood man turns around, but we still can't see his face. He told us the truth will be heard. Are we paying attention? The man pressed a play button and we see security camera video from Valentine's Day. The video shows Rose and Deville backstage talking about Otis and their date that night. Rose says Otis is big, but he's super sweet. Sonya Deville supports the date. Mandy Rose walk out and Deville picks up her phone. We see Deville sending the infamous text message to Otis. We also see Otis receives that text and reply. The security camera fed then shows Deville deleting the text from Otis. We see Rose in the performance center now, looking shocked at Deville. Deville pleads with her. We also see footage of Ziggler and Deville backstage on Valentine's Day, conspiring together against Rose and Otis. The day to get what they both wanted. The truth will be heard. Glitches go off again, and then the man is gone. Deville begs Mandy to please understand. Rose just looks at everyone and walks up the ramp to the back. Deville follows. Otis chases Ziggler and knocks him down at the bottom of the ramp. Ziggler keeps running away to the back as Otis stares him down, then checks back on Tucker. Still to come, Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Back to commercial. Sonya Deville got caught. You know what I'm saying? That's what we see. They show security footage of Sonya Deville deleting text messages off the phone. So Sonya Deville got caught. So Mandy Rose basically just turned on Sonya Deville. That was a good move by WWE. You know what I'm saying? I give credit where credit's due. Anyway, but still to come, Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Back to commercial. Back from the break, we see Mandy Rose walking backstage. Sonya Deville is behind her trying to make her case, but Rose doesn't want to hear it. Mandy Rose keeps walking. Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura, decent match. It was just decent. We go back to the ring, and out comes Daniel Bryan with Drew Gulak. We see how Gulak earns Bryan WrestleMania 36 title shot from the Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn by defeating Shinsuke Nakamura last week. Out next comes Nakamura with Sami Zayn and Cesaro. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. The bell rings and they go at it. Sami Zayn is on commentator while Cesaro and Gulak look on from ringside. Bryan takes control and works Nakamura over while he's down. Nakamura fights up and out but runs into a drop kick. Nakamura goes to the floor and regroup, but Bryan runs and kicks him back into the burial. Bryan with a double knees off the apron to the floor. Gulak and Cesaro have words at ringside. Daniel Bryan brings Nakamura back in and goes to the top. Bryan with a missile drop kick. Bryan kept up and taunts Sami, but Bryan with a running drop kick to Nakamura in the corner. Bryan tries Nakamura to the top for a hurricanrana, but is blocked. Nakamura leaps from the top and drops Bryan for a 2 count. Nakamura keeps control and drops Bryan on his head. Bryan is down and we go back to commercial. Back and forth after the break. Bryan rocks Nakamura with a yes kick while he's on his knees. Nakamura comes back with the stiff strike of his own. Bryan and Nakamura continue trading shots and pin attempts as Gulak gives Bryan advice from ringside. Bryan works on Nakamura's arm. Bryan ends up running into a big flying kick. Nakamura with an exploder suplex from the corner. Nakamura goes for the Kinshasa, but Bryan grabs his leg and rolls him into a submission. Bryan grabs Nakamura back into the middle of the ring as Gulak cheers him on. Nakamura breaks the hold. Bryan gets up and they trade big strikes now. More back and forth until Bryan goes for the yes lock. Cesaro hits the ring to break it up for the disqualification. The winner by disqualification, Daniel Bryan. After the match, Gulak and Bryan are destroyed by Cesaro, Sami Zayn, and Nakamura. Bryan is driven into the announcer table before Gulak is launched into the steel ring steps. Sami Zayn brings Bryan back into the ring, and Cesaro follows with Nakamura. Cesaro with the neutralizer on Bryan. Nakamura with Kinshasa to Bryan. While Cesaro holds him. Sami Zayn talks trash to Bryan ahead of their match this weekend. Sami tells Cesaro and Nakamura to hold Bryan up as the referee keeps yelling at them. Sami Zayn with the big hell of a kick in the corner. Sami Zayn's music hits as the heels celebrate and the referee checks on Bryan. Back from the break, and out comes John Cena for the final Smackdown segment before WrestleMania 36. This segment I really enjoyed. This was good by John Cena. John Cena is gold on the mic. He is very good on the mic. Cena hits the ring and thanks Michael Cole for setting the stage. Cena brings up how WWE decides 1 month ago to continue their show as the Performance Center with no fans. He says it's been a learning curve, but we gotten through it together. He gives thanks to the fans and says it leads us to these final moments before WrestleMania, where everyone is asking what's really going to happen. Cena says started tomorrow night, the most epic broadcast will air most viewed WrestleMania in history. How does he know this? Because for the first time ever, no one really knows no one really knows what's going to happen. Cena says he's been challenged to the Firefly Funhouse match, and no one can tell him what that is. He doesn't even think Bray Wyatt knows, but that's exactly what the Fiend wants back, because the Fiend loves uncertainty. Cena says uncertainty leads to fear, and fear can lead to panic, and panic leads to collapse. The Fiend thrives in uncertainty and has demanded the WWE landscape of fear and panic. Cena says, here we are on the eve of WrestleMania, starting in uncertainty, asking what happens next. Cena is here tonight to tell us what happened next. He will not panic. He sure as isn't afraid, and he will squash Wyatt to finish what he started 6 years ago. He doesn't care where it is at, because Wyatt isn't even on the level below him. Cena says no one who knows him what he's capable of, and realizes this poor man, Mr. Rogers, doesn't stand a chance. Cena goes on ripping the Fiend and says the WWE Universal Champion Bill Goldberg has already exposed the Fiend weaknesses. Cena continues talking about the match until we hear rambling rabbit at ringside. We see the 4 other Funhouse puppets popping up in the crowd, taunting Cena. Rabbit says he's here. The lights go down, and we hear the familiar sound of the Fiend's arrival. The red light comes over the WWE Performance Center as the Fiend pops. It's up top on the perch. Cena and the Fiend stare each other down. Wyatt suddenly appears behind Cena, yelling in his ear, "Let me in." Cena jumps. The light goes back out and Wyatt is no longer there. We hear the familiar sound again as Smackdown goes up there with Cena in the ring by himself. This segment was good, but the outcome of John Cena, he should just punched Bray Wyatt right there as soon as Bray Wyatt snuck up on John Cena. John Cena should just drop a punch behind Bray Wyatt, but he didn't do it. But John Cena just turned around. But you know, it is what it is from there. But what does this do for the rest of what else happened on SmackDown? SmackDown was just, you know what I'm saying, it got off a show, but there's only 2 parts that were good. That Mandy Rose turned on Sonya Deville and John Cena's segment. That's them the only 2 segments I really enjoyed, but the rest of the match I just not really care about. It just got awful. But anyway, and I know TM, DJ Storms, and Coltrane's, and it's going to agree with me that Braun Strowman versus Bill Goldberg, what a terrible booking decision by WWE. You know what I'm saying? That was terrible, by the way, by WWE. But anyway, if you guys enjoy my WWE Friday Night SmackDown review and highlights, please drop a like. Please give me 30 likes on this video. Comment down below what you guys think of Friday Night SmackDown, and I will see you guys in the next video. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. The links will be down below in the description. My Twitter, my Instagram, and TikTok will be down below in the description. This your boy, Billboard Giant 25. You guys have a blessed weekend. Have a great Friday, and I will see you guys in the next video. Billboard Giant 25, and I'm out of here. KFG gang all day.